guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin, and today we are back again, guys, with House of Dragons, Episode 2.
I haven't checked the title for this episode.
Yep.
We'll see. So last episode, we were introduced to the Targaryen family back 172 years before the birth of Daenerys. So we're a long way from home, the home we know. But
172 years ago from what we know.
yeah, but we recognize a lot of the names. We recognize the setting. It's the history we've heard about. You got Princess Rhaenyra, who's the daughter of current King Viserys. Her mother was pregnant. She was about to birth what they hoped was a son. And everyone was freaking out because the king had no heir, apparent heir. If he had no heir, the guy who would inherit the chair technically after him would have been his brother, Daemon Targaryen.
Who is not fit to be king or even a member of the council.
No, people don't really, at least in the council, they don't really trust him to get the chair. So there was a tourney to celebrate the birth of the son, but there was also a problem, and they had to cut open the queen to get the son out. So the queen is dead, and then the son lived for a little bit and then died. So the king ended up being like, okay, what do I do? People were talking about naming an actual heir. They said Rhaenyra could be a good choice because Daemon was not a good choice. There's this whole idea of naming, I think it's a cousin or something. There's a woman, what's her name? Rhaenyra, I keep forgetting.
They said that the queen who never was, that she was the firstborn of the late king Jaehaerys, sorry. And she already had a son.
Yeah, so she could be a choice, but Viserys was picked over her, so his line would be the successors. But some people believe she should be the queen and stuff. So there's already people playing the game or about to play the game, and so he picked his daughter as heir. We know that her best friend and lady in waiting, I guess, Alicent.
Alicent Hightower, yes.
She's the daughter of the hand of the king, Otto Hightower, and he has been sending her to the king to kind of cheer him up and potentially get close, and yeah.
He has planned on his own.
Yeah, they're all plotting, which we love because this is how you play the game, and I'm enjoying this, so...
We do love a good old betrayal, right?
Yeah, always. So this is where we are. Let's jump in this episode and see how Rhaenyra can handle her new responsibilities, I guess. Yeah, let's jump in this episode. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
In the meantime, let's go. Ooh!
Okay, they actually kept the song for the opening. That's cool.
That's the new intro.
Live. It's gonna make me want to rewatch Game of Thrones. She's still a fucking cupbearer.
By the Silent Sisters, the succeeding Lord Commander would like to make haste in finding Sir Ryan's replacement on the King's Guard.
Your Grace, with the help of the Hand, I've invited a number of fine candidates to court. All have passed fair trials.
4 ships have now been lost.
Can we focus on that?
The stepstones have now grown into a conflagration, yet you sit here and dither about court business.
If you've something to discuss.
I want to seize the stepstones by force.
I am not prepared to start a war with the free cities.
Were that to happen, the losses would be incalculable.
Yeah, but you can't let them do whatever they want, though.
What reason does the crab feeder have to fear us?
If you're not willing
The
to
king's
fight
own
back
brother has
again.
been allowed to seize Dragonstone. Daemon has squatted there for over half a year.
Fuck, we're moving in time.
I've sent envoys to Pentos and Volantis to see if we might find common cause.
They'll come back without their heads.
You have dragon riders, father.
Take your place, girl. You're the heir. Yeah.
Send us.
Yeah. It would be dangerous, but...
It isn't that simple.
It would be a show of force.
At least the princess has a plan.
I'm willing to listen to what she has to say.
I only meant that we should at least...
Perhaps there's some better use for the princess's talents, Your Grace.
She does have a
Why
point.
don't you take the princess to see about the new King's Guard posting, Lord Commander?
if she is the heir and she is meant to become queen, it's a good thing that she wants to participate. Like, they named her the heir, but they still believe that she's just a woman and she doesn't know what she's talking about. Which, I mean, technically, she probably doesn't know what she's talking about, but she should be listened to a little bit, considered.
Yeah, but maybe
Sir
some of
Desmond
them.
Callan. Sir Raymond Mallister, winner of the melee at Cider Hall. Missed the last mounted of 3 in 20 minutes. Sir Raymond was knighted at 8 and
Do
10.
any of these knights have combat experience?
None of them have been through war.
It has been like 100 years, at least they said.
Sir Criston Cole, son of a steward of the Lord of Bloodhaven.
You saw combat in the Stormlands.
I fought for a year as a foot soldier against the Dornish incursions.
I choose Sir Criston Cole.
Of course, he defeated her fucking uncle last episode.
Houses such as Crickle and Mallister are important allies of the crown.
Yeah, but he has seen combat.
My father should be defended by a man who's known real combat.
True.
And not just her dad, but later on her. It helps that he's handsome and he's interested. Sorry.
The Valyrian capital was built into a volcano, and this was the Enoglion, where the blood mages worked their craft.
I don't like that.
The glory of old Valyria will never be seen again. 7 minutes.
It's working.
Tell me, how is Rhaenyra? But these days she doesn't say more than a few words to me.
Do you say more than a few words to her?
I wish she would approach me.
What if you went to her?
There are times when I would rather face the Black Dread himself than my own daughter of 15.
Okay, she's 15, okay.
You do not mention our talks to Rhaenyra, do you? I fear that she wouldn't understand them.
No, Your Grace.
To be fair, she is a supportive person right now in his time of need. She's giving him support, comfort, just someone to talk to.
Yes, it's my
But she's way too young.
Already they tried to marry my father.
Didn't
off
matter
and
in
place
those
me there.
times.
I know
She's
that's
of
wrong.
age.
She literally said, but this is what her friend is doing, you know?
What if your father were to be married?
To you?
Your father loves you. He chose you for his heir.
Yeah, but because he had no
Didn't
choice.
choose me, he spurned Daemon.
It's funny how she's slowly trying to gauge, you know, her reaction. Like, what if you were to remarry?
Yeah. To someone younger.
But we discussed this. They would definitely, if he ended up remarried with a son, she would take second place again.
Once again, yeah.
It sucks that she's such a good friend, but then behind her back, like, I know it's not her fault. Her dad told her to do this, but
I want him to see me as more than his little girl. Mine own father does not know the language of girls either. When I wish to talk with him, I know that I must make the effort. Thank you.
since you literally
She's
told
good at
her.
twisting her words. Like, oh, what if you go to her then? I know that she will receive you well if you make the effort.
But no, but it's true. But then the king said he was afraid to approach her, and he wishes she would make the move. So she turns around and she says, "Why don't you talk to him?" Because she knows he would accept it. He would be fine with it.
I wish to apologize. It was not my intent to make offense.
Your fleet is one of the realm's most important assets, Lord Corlys. But you must understand, as king, it is my obligation to avoid war until such time it is unavoidable.
I fear that the eyes of our enemies are presently fixed on the Red Keep. A girl has been named heir to the Iron Throne. The king's brother, so disinherited, has claimed the Targaryen seat on Dragonstone without challenge. And now a foreign power has established a colony in our most critical shipping lane.
At the moment, the crown is perceived as being vulnerable.
To elude a storm, you can either sail into it or around it, but you must never await its coming.
That's the thing. Like, if you do nothing, you risk them planning for more or looking down on you.
Join our families. Wed our daughter Lena. Unite the two great surviving Valyrian houses. You can show the realm that the crown's strongest days are ahead.
I haven't given marriage much thought.
The realm expects you to take a new wife sooner or later, Grace, to strengthen your line and produce more heirs.
I guess though that would put to rest people who, you know, wish as they would be in power
Unite
versus
the two
yeah.
families.
It'd be less of a betrayal if he did that than if he went with Alicent.
We haven't spoken much.
A regret of mine. We should be free to speak our minds to one another.
Today at small council,
Pay it no mind.
I thought I might have had some insight.
You're young.
But
You will learn.
She wasn't saying sorry. She was saying, "Why won't you listen to me?"
At least hear what she has to say as an idea and explain to her why that idea might not work.
Yeah. Ugh.
This is our best chance to save the digit, Your Grace.
This is the cut from last episode. The cuts from the Iron Throne are festering.
Poisoning his body.
I held an audience earlier today with Lord Corlys and Princess Rhaenys. He proposed a marriage.
Fuck. Alicent, work harder.
The Lady Lena is young. Indeed, but the wounds made by the Great Council still linger, my king. A match with their daughter would go a long way towards sealing the breach.
The Grand Maester's reasoning is sound.
I do fear what Rhaenyra might think.
What does it matter, Your Grace? Her father must propagate the royal line.
She's the heir, bitch. I know you don't really think it's you know, she's a means to an end right now, but it's fucked up.
Dearly loved my own lady wife, and to be compelled to replace her for duty's sake. You are the king, but I do not envy you.
No, sorry. My judgment of the hand is still, you know, on hold because he's pushing for a place.
He's pushing for his own family
to
get a higher power.
If he starts counseling him in a way that advantages him and not the realm, that's when I'm judging hard.
Oh my God, she's way too young.
Yep.
It would be a great honor to join our houses as they were in old Valeria.
She's repeating what she was told.
Girl,
it sounds
Is that
so.
what your father taught you to say?
Yeah.
this is a burden too heavy for you, girl.
She doesn't even understand it. I think like.
What did your mother tell you?
That I wouldn't have to bed you until I turned 14.
I don't know, like for the politics' sake, I'm like, she's the better choice. As fucked up as it is. For the little girl's sake, I'm like saying, go with fucking Alicent.
It bothers you, does it not?
Lena is your daughter, Princess. Does it bother you?
Of course it does. But I understand the order of things. I'm not sure you do. Whether it's to my daughter or to someone else's, your father will remarry. His new wife will produce new heirs, and chances are better than not that one of those will be male. The men of the realm will expect him to be heir, not you.
Yeah. Kind of like they chose a man over her, even though she was the first choice.
When I'm queen, I will create a new order.
The men of the realm already had their opportunity to appoint a ruling queen at the Great Council, and they
And
denied
did
it.
not.
They denied you, Princess Rhaenys.
Oh, low blow. You were the problem.
Men would sooner put the realm to the torch than see a woman ascend the Iron Throne. And your father is no fool.
He understands that.
And when I say that maybe by putting her heir to the throne, high noble family might expect to wed their son to her and have a claim on the throne.
If she's the heir, she would be ruling. And no one wants to be king consort.
Yeah.
A good and kind queen will give comfort to your subjects. Does the small council have a particular lady in mind?
A baby.
Lady Lena.
I'm sure that she is good and kind, and that she will enjoy your company, as I have.
Yeah, I think he's starting to think that she would be a better choice. Which is exactly what his hand wants.
I brought you something.
Oh.
This is a very kind gesture.
I don't know though, none of that is from a place of actual care. She wouldn't be here if she wasn't forced to. I'm not saying she can't develop some feelings or, you know, but still, she's a kid too. She's probably 15 as well.
Daemon.
It is the pleasure of Daemon Targaryen, rightful heir to the Iron Throne, to announce that he is to take a second wife. Her Grace is with child, and is to have a dragon's egg placed in the babe's cradle. The prince has invited you to his wedding. It is in 2 days' time.
My brother wishes to provoke me. To answer is to give him what he wants.
The realm is watching.
What would you have me do? Perhaps I could put his head on a spike.
Daemon has seized the Dragonstone.
He is openly defying you.
Scorio Dromon Daemon Leitas.
It's a statement. Here's a baby that's gonna survive. Here's the heir.
Similar detachment will do.
Yeah, you need to do something.
I know he's your brother, but
Apologies, Your Grace, but I cannot allow it.
you could also be expecting him to react.
Let me go to Dragonstone.
Let Rhaenyra go, damn it.
Hey! I love revisiting all the places.
I want to say though, thought about it in the first episode and this one as well, but all the set pieces look so huge. Like you have
It's the
a
same
perception
places.
of immensity.
No, it's the same places.
No, it's the same, but the way that they shot the scenes, like you have the sense that it is so much huge, you know?
So much huge. He's got an attitude, man.
Welcome to Dragonstone, Otto.
You've come for the egg.
Here it is.
Come and take it.
I can't say I'm not enjoying his attitude.
Never survived this.
Well, happily, neither would you.
To choose violence here is to declare war against your king.
Wonderful.
By the way, I gotta say, poor Daenerys for riding on dragons without a saddle all this time.
She was a tough girl.
All of you, sheathe the fucking steel.
Can't win when there's a fucking dragon on the other side. Did she come anyway?
Yeah, I think she did. Yeah, she did. She said, fuck it.
We'll see how it goes. He is fond of her. She wants to prove herself. I just don't think it's dangerous. You never know. Although they should have thought of bringing a dragon to a dragon fight.
What are you doing here, princess?
Preventing bloodshed.
He's so small.
Kesu ugleisa, luon zombaz mi anuhon isa.
Io se la fosse eurota o.
Vedrosodari ohi ikida.
Tubi maneri, Nike de Niklas.
Seke jesut nuchon vronkron, sekelat.
Razilari tubi.
Okay. I noticed that she looked confused when he talked about a kid and stuff.
Your child?
I'm right here, Uncle. The reason that you were disinherited. If you wish to be restored as heir, you'll need to kill me, so do it.
No, he cares.
And be done with all this bother.
You got an attitude, and I like that.
You got guts.
They both are playing a dangerous game with each other, but I mean, they're dancing together. If he
She
didn't
knows
ca-
how to talk to him.
If he didn't care about her as much,
Yeah.
that would have been way too dangerous. I think she placed her faith in the fact that she knew him enough, you know. And the good side is, hopefully they will reconsider how they judge her and how they handle her. They'll give her a bit more respect. I have heard this theme song. I like it very much.
That is a defiance though on his authority. You won't like it.
So your daughter did something amazing.
She went there and she was badass.
Despite my fears, I am really proud of what she did. Setting herself up as the actual heir. She is the heir, so she's doing what she has to.
You disobeyed me, and you acted without the crown's leave.
Yes.
You are my only heir. You could have been killed.
And retrieve the egg without bloodshed. A feat I'm not sure Sir Otto could have accomplished alone.
Yes. Well,
Now you agree.
I sometimes forget how alike you both were. Your mother's absence is a wound that will never heal. I wish I had known better what to say to you in the aftermath. I struggle to realize that my daughter had so quickly become a woman grown. She understands what is now expected of me.
The king must take a new wife.
It's sad, but she understands that. Her brain is telling her one thing, her heart is telling her another. At least she, you know, when it matters, she's using her brain, which is expected of her. But I totally understand why she feels rejected and afraid. Look at him choose Alicent. I don't know, I mean, if he chooses the 12-year-old girl, it's not gonna fly. Or if he marries a 12-year-old girl, but sleeps with Alicent.
Oh,
I have decided to take a new wife.
he's gonna take her then.
I accept that, not you.
I intend to marry
Oh,
the Lady Alicent Hightower.
that is the worst betrayal that you could have done to your daughter though.
Because she didn't know they were talking. They
No.
were spending time together. It's completely out of the blue for her.
This is an absurdity. My house is Velaryon.
And I am your king.
He could rebel. He's got half the ships in the fucking, you know, continent.
One of the most wealthiest family in Westeros also.
And this is a betrayal.
Rhaenyra.
I don't know. How do you think she's gonna react? She was okay with you marrying, but not her friend.
Her best friend.
It was already something she was not okay with, but she had to be fine. You know, say she was fine with it because that's how things are. But if you make it her friend, ugh.
House Velaryon's origins reach back to old Valyria, more ancient even than House Targaryen.
Is he making a deal?
Unlike every other lord of the realm, I can say that I built my house's high seat with the strength of mine own back. I've always thought of you and I as having been made from the same cloth.
Oh, okay, no.
We're both men who have had to cut our own way through the world. You've heard of the troubles in the Stepstones. I've been petitioning the king to send my navy into the territory, but he's denied me.
He's gonna turn to another.
If those shipping lanes fall, my house will be crippled. I will not have Driftmark beggared while our king idles himself with feasts and tourneys.
I will speak for my brother as I wish. You will not.
Okay.
Despite their conflict,
Waiting in the
he
Stepstones
still has his back.
is a chance for you to prove your worth to any who might yet doubt it.
Show that you're a better choice for a king.
Our worth is not given, it must be made.
He's gonna give him a lot of power and a chance to get supporters. You look fucking intense, man. Shit. What the fuck is this?
He's like a sport crab.
What?
He's
Sport
like
crab?
a sport crab.
I don't know about that. For a second, I was like, you know, there's trouble over there and stuff. It's true that they're attacking his house, sort of. Like, they're making trouble for his house, but I was like, I saw, like, the statue of the person with the...
The barnacles?
Yeah, and I was like, is he trying to reach out and, like, turning against the king? He is turning against the king, but allying himself with Daemon, that makes a lot of sense. No one is listening to him at court.
I just want to put it out, though, that Daemon, despite his conflict with his own brother and what's going on right now,
I like that.
He still had his back, like, you know.
No. It's not about having his back. It's about
No, but he's
understanding that
allowing other people to talk bad about his brother.
It's about, I think it's about understanding that they are Targaryens. Not just anyone can go out and insult their house. He is his brother. He doesn't respect him as king and he wishes to take the throne. So he'll fight him if he has to, which he will have to. But I still enjoy that. There's something about, you know, their house being represented by them, so they need to keep it strong and respected. You can't allow people to insult anyone in that house if you want to keep the appearances. They will be dangerous. The plan, so like what the plan would be to get Daemon support enough that he can overthrow whoever, you know, is in power in King's Landing. So right now his brother, and then what, have him marry his daughter?
She's still 12.
Yeah, but she is still her blood is fucking strong, and she has the right heritage to you know, for respect and stuff. And like, that's another thing. If Daemon, I don't know if he'll end up marrying, what's her name, Lena. I don't know if he ends up marrying her, but if I was there and I was like, okay, I want Daemon to be king, he marries Lena versus his brother marries Alicent, who's like, yeah, she's from a noble house, but her blood is not as strong and she doesn't bring as much as, let's say, Lena and her family, especially if they are, you know, fighting and stuff. So I would assume that some lords would turn to Daemon as a, you know, a better choice for a king. If he has the right wife, if he has the right supporters and stuff. And not just that, but if it comes to war, he's got now a lot of ships, which could make or break the whole thing. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. But that girl is way too young. I know she'll grow up because we're jumping in time in this show. I have seen an actress that plays older Rhaenyra. I've seen the actress who plays older Lena as well. So I know it will happen. We'll get to a point where she's of age to be married. Right now it's just fucking disgusting to see such a young girl walk with like older men like that.
Do you think that Viserys chose to wed Alicent only because Lena was too young, or because he didn't want to give that much power to Corlys Velaryon.
No, I think the good idea, it's not giving them power, so like he's still king. It would make sure that he would keep him by his side, loyal, and because there's no way he's betraying him if he's married to his daughter. It would have been the sensible choice, but then you got his daughter who keeps telling him he's the king, that's what he has to do, but he has grief over the idea of replacing his wife. Replacing his wife with a child is not something that appeals to him, which I understand. He doesn't know the girl, so I think he knows he has to remarry, but it's easier for him to remarry with someone he's been talking to, someone who got close to him, which is also bullshit, because the only reason she's been doing that was because she was told to do it.
She's also, you know, that she's only hurting herself because she's anxious.
Yeah, it's stress, it's, she's anxious, she's not happy with what she has to do. And I'm afraid of how Rhaenyra is going to react to her, how people are going to react to her, because they'll see it as opportunity. Like I'm expecting her to be called an opportunity-taking, manipulator or something. Like it's her father who sent her there, but they could have, some of them could be saying like, oh, you could have said no, which is not true. She can't say no. You could have told me, which is not true. She was asked not to say anything. Like it's. Powerful men are telling her what to do, when she's a woman. That's what she has to do. But they will judge her, and she's a young girl who took advantage of in the eye of those who wishes to be in power, she is a young girl who took advantage of the king's grief and got in his bed. They would call her a whore, they would, disrespect her, they would look down on her because she's the one who managed to get the future crown. Like, she's the one who got close. Especially houses who would have preferred the alliance with Velaryon, so the House Velaryon. So, yep, I am afraid for her future. Poor girl, it's not her fault. The king, we've had so many bad kings in Game of Thrones history.
Yeah.
I cannot say he's bad compared to those we've seen. But what I've seen from him is actually good compared to, what we expect.
Yes, but from what we just saw, he doesn't want to take actions.
Yep. Like he's afraid of war.
He's been told many times that we have problem with the Septon. We have someone that's called the crab feeder that is attacking our ships, our men.
He sent people to talk to them, though. He is right when he said that a king's job is to avoid war as much as possible. Do everything in your power to avoid war. Send people to talk, try to negotiate, stuff like that. It's true, because you don't want war. War is glorifying and everything, but when you're in it, people die. You don't want that. People starve, people lose money. Like, it's the worst situation, but it does feel like he sits back and enjoys his journeys and his feasts and all of that, and he's not acting while people are suffering. I understand what he's saying, but I also understand why people would get frustrated. The thing is, if you were in his seat, what would you do? Because there is also if he chooses war and he sends people to react, there's also a chance that other people will suffer, people will still die, and others will curse him. There's never really a good choice when you're king.
Once again, with what happened with Daemon when he stole that dragon egg, he didn't want to do anything because he didn't want to...
no, he chose to go. He wanted to go.
Only because they learned that the egg that he stole was the one who was supposed to belong to his late son.
Yeah, because it sent a message. It was obviously
but before that, he didn't want to act on it.
It's his... Again, I will say, though, I understand why. It's his brother. He doesn't want to show, like, that House Targaryen has been fractured like that. He doesn't want to take action. It is true that he doesn't take action much as king. He has not been reacting. We've noticed that last episode. It's just that I understand why he's not doing it, and I kind of agree with what he said about war not being a solution always.
True, but you know what? It does remind me of Edward and Last Kingdom. Who is waiting too much, and sometimes it's gonna be too late.
Yeah, it's true, and you gotta take care of your people. Like I said, if he had not sent anyone to talk, I would have been like, dude, you're not doing shit, it's bad. He has sent people to discuss, it's not doing anything. When you're suffering, you want people to take action right away.
I mean, those people that he sent to talk over that
probably nailed.
Pour parler, they're being necked down and being eaten by crabs.
Probably. I will say it again, I understand why he's not choosing war right away. But I also felt that as king, he's enjoying peace and he might be afraid of war, especially since if there is a war, he will be expected to take part, and he has no heir. Well, he has his daughter, but he doesn't have a strong line.
There's no one Basing say.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I mean, Daemon will get a lot, especially if he helps with what's going on right now. Like, he will get a lot of supporters, and I don't know if people will support his choice, Viserys' choice of new wife. Some will like it. Otto Hightower will definitely like it. This is what he wanted. But what does it mean for the future here? I don't really know. Will she give him a son? If so, what happens to Rhaenyra? I love that she's the heir. I love that this episode, despite the fact that they chose her as heir, they named her and everything, but they still dismissed her as a cupbearer and no respect was given. And when she comes up with an idea, even if the idea was bad, like, which, I mean, they didn't really give her a choice, like, a chance to explain what she wanted to do. Like, they shut her down completely because they're not listening. She's a girl that knows nothing. She's too young. Like, they don't want to listen to her. She is heir in title, but that's it. She's a mean to an end. So they dismissed her completely, and I love that. As dangerous as it was, because it was foolish and it was dangerous, if Daemon had not cared, he could have killed her. And
Sure.
that would have been it. No heir, no nothing, no... Daemon would have been heir again, technically. Like, you just have to kill the king and then you're king in his place. There's no one else. So, it was dangerous. It worked, and it gave her a very powerful moment of... She looked like Daenerys a little bit. Her clothes kind of reminded me of her, like, taking action, just showing everyone that this is my role, this is who I am, and no bullshit. Like, she took strength, and she showed strength, and I think it was cool, because it did remind me of Daenerys coming home as the proclaimed queen of Westeros, even though she wasn't. Yeah, she was a badass, and it worked out, and it pissed him off, because, yeah, he does care. He doesn't like that he cares, but he cares. We'll see where it goes, but, yeah, we're definitely having problems coming on the horizon. We're gonna have an attack, I guess. We'll see Daemon fight those guys, and we'll see the repercussions of that. And those wounds are festering for the king, so I don't know how long he has, but it's not looking good.
That throne has a grudge against Viserys.
I mean, people named Viserys don't have much luck in this show, I guess. But, no, it literally is the throne cutting him, and then it festers. Like, they're not taking... Maybe it's because he has so many wounds, he doesn't treat them, and so they get infected or something, or it's just that you need to clean those blades. I don't know, but I mean, there is at a point they will change the throne. They'll get rid of some of the blades, so
many of the blades.
Yeah, so maybe that's kind of like maybe
all,
it's to
all
avoid
that
that.
junk on the sides and at the front, get rid of this.
Yeah, maybe.
But seriously, it might just be my imagination, but I do believe that there is like some sort of dark magic with that throne, you know?
Well, maybe.
It might.
It honestly, magic in Game of Thrones, that it exists, but it's very specific to a certain things. Like, you can just say something is magic, and it is. Like, it takes sacrifices and takes stuff. Although it is a throne that was made out of the blood, the blood spilt of many, many men. Like, it's their sword, fallen enemies. So it could have made for something cursed.
If you talk about blood magic, you got it.
Sort of. But then again, it's a throne. How would a throne can't use blood magic?
No, but they were blood not blood user, but blood magic user and old Valyria.
Yeah.
And because of what they did, it crumbled. I don't know the extent of it, but it crumbled.
Yeah, but the throne has nothing to do with that. It's way later when they conquered. It's after Aegon won the war. Like, the throne has nothing to do with Valyria.
I don't know, but I do think that what happened, what they might have done, is a repercussion, and the throne is a representation of what they did. And
No, I think it's not as intense as that. I think it's just a metaphor that the throne is cursed, and like kind of like the legend that if you're not a good king and the throne rejects you, you're gonna get cut. Like, it has nothing to do with the throne being a sentient thing, like choosing the king. Like, no, it's a metaphor.
I never said it was a sentient thing. I just said that if you are a Targaryen and you got dragon blood in your veins, that if you are on the throne, it's gonna react badly to you.
It's closer to the books in a way, because the throne it's more intense in the books that the throne rejects someone that is not, meant for it. So if you're not a good king, it will reject you. Like Joffrey got cut, you got fucking, like, people that got on the throne would get cut, and then you got Ned who stood, sat on it, stoic like crazy, just did not move, did not get cut, I think. But Robert would get cut, the Mad King got so fucking cut. A lot. So it's the question of that. Like, sometimes people would have theories of what if, like, for example, when they were wondering if Jon or Daenerys would be the king or the queen, they were like, what if Daenerys gets to the throne and she gets cut?
She did get cut in the show, right?
No. She barely touched it. Like, she touched the pommel and that's it.
But did she cut herself?
No. She touched the pommel, and then Jon arrived, so there was no touching the throne and getting cut. She didn't even sit on it.
I need to look at it again.
She touched the pommel, her hand did that, and then that's it. But it's prominent in the books. But then you definitely see the vibe of the show so far is really beginning of Game of Thrones. So you definitely see that George R.R. Martin was involved in the making of this. It's lore supported. It's a lot of details that we know from the books. It's a lot of stuff that was forgotten later on in Game of Thrones, or barely introduced and then forgotten. So in that way, I do enjoy it, because it kind of brings back to canon stuff that
brings back the lore,
stuff that we forgot, or stuff that we wish to see in Game of Thrones but never was. So, but yeah, I see war coming, and I am excited for that. The thing is, like, we had dragons in Game of Thrones, but they were not in wars per se. So to see more dragons, to see dragons against dragons, and just to see that as a casual thing in the show, that's really cool, and I'm excited for what they're going to do with it. I want to see this Varaxis, what did you call it? Her? Varaxis?
Caraxes?
No, the Caraxes is Daemon's. The one that has seen old Valyria.
Vaga?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
What, it looks like Vaga or something?
In any case, this one, who's supposedly so big. Hopefully we get to see that one. If maybe not this season, maybe later on. But I kind of want to have a glimpse. A dragon so big, like it's going to make Drogon look small, Please, 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 show me.
Alright.
But okay, that's it for episode 2. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next 2 episodes right away, they are on Patreon already. You can check them out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't want to have the next one, shout on YouTube next week. So see you then, guys.
Bye.